got a theory about folding phones, and it goes like this.
I think to make a successful Android foldable in 2026, you need to be better than the competition, or you need to be cheaper than the competition, or you need to be earlier than the competition.
But you gotta have two of those.
The first book-type foldable from Motorola is better, but it's not much cheaper, and it is in no way earlier. So while I might prefer it to the alternatives, I'm not sure how much that matters. I'm Mr. Mobile, and I have thoughts after almost 2 weeks with the Razr Fold. Oh, and its pen. Yeah, missed opportunity not calling it the Razr Edge, because boy does this thing look like it came from that side of Motorola's phone portfolio. If you like big square camera casings pushing their way through the backplate like a volcano about to crack the crust, you'll love the Razr Fold. Now, this Mondo module does bring benefits, both optical and ergonomic. No Samsung shimmy here. So while it's not exactly my cup of tea, we'll put it in the plus column overall. Beyond the bulge, this Razr is a lot like the other folds we've seen recently. It nicely splits the difference between the squared-off Samsung Fold 7 and the somewhat clunky Pixel 10 Fold. And while I would have appreciated some fun backplate options mirroring the flip Razr family, like wood or whatever, I'm grateful for any material that isn't frosted glass.
Did you get the white one?
Of course I did.
You got the white one? Do you want to trade?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. Black looks dumb on camera.
At least it has texture.
Text.
That pops. It's fine.
You're mad.
I am mad.
I came around pretty quickly to my black and blue review unit. This coating feels like rough construction paper under a light touch and a more grippy rubber if you apply more pressure. It's somewhere between like the rubber armor of the LG V10 and the ballistic nylon of the old Droid Turbo. Up front, Gorilla Glass Ceramic 3 oozes over the corners to connote a premium product. You can still scratch it with a careless drop on the deck, as I've already done, but at least it didn't shatter. The hinge is stainless steel with good thunky action, the crease is manageable, certainly shallower than Samsung's, and the water resistance is, resistant. There's even fast wireless charging here. If you can find a stand that fits, the Razr Fold will take up to 50 watts. Overall, this hardware story is a pretty positive one. And that's without even accounting for the pen. Motorola had an opportunity to set the Razr apart from the Galaxy and Pixel by catering to stylus stands, and it built a pretty good one. The Moto Pen Ultra is an active stylus with pressure sensitivity and tilt detection, along with a built-in button that brings back a feature Galaxy groupies are still lamenting the loss of, a remote camera shutter. The pen lets you hover to highlight, it works on the inner and cover screens, and it's easy enough to use that even an amateur like me can sketch out an outline for his thumbnail artist. And none of that matters, in my opinion, because there's no way to put the pen into the phone. Unlike Samsung and Oppo, which at least provided a case to stow the stylus when not in use, Motorola offers only this, a cigar-like portable charger that must be carried separately. And that's especially puzzling because, unlike Samsung with the Fold 7, Motorola clearly wasn't trying to set any records for thinness or weight with the Razr, so it could have made room for a silo. Especially since these are the same folks who've been shipping integrated pens in the Moto G line since, 2010. But no, unless you go for the pre-order bundle that adds the pen for free, you pay an extra $99 for another thing to carry and charge. Puzzling. My consternation continues when I hopefully hang the Razr Fold on the edge of my MagSafe charger, only for it to nosedive onto the desk. No magnets, leaving the Pixel to carry the Qi 2.2 torch alone on Android. Nor did Motorola budge on the AI button. It's still here, and it's still locked to Moto's own sluggish suite of sort of okay features. Actually, I'm not a fan of any of these buttons. They're all too high on the side and the power button is mushy. But having the AI button shoved awkwardly in the middle, complicating the tactility in exchange for a kind of mediocre set of tools that I can't swap out for anything else, is disappointing. But there's also a lot to like on the Razr Fold. Motorola's take on Android is fun and smart. I haven't actually used it on a full-size phone in a long time. I've been using the clamshells. So I really enjoyed using those classic lock screen notification bubbles to preview messages and alerts. A lot like I used to on the old Moto X. Motorola's trackpad and shortcuts make mini laptop mode about as usable as can be, and it does a good job of teaching you how to use it, too. You can run 3 apps side by side just as easily on the Razr as on the Oppo Find N6. Oh, and I was unexpectedly taken with this. Fold the phone into a tent and it becomes an ambient desk display with a clock, calendar, and notifications. And you can set it so that it comes to life only when you look at it. I kind of forgot the Flip Razr got this look-to-wake ability last year. It just makes so much more sense with the larger cover display on the Fold. It's still a little creepy, though. Everything you'd expect to make the most of this much combined screen real estate is here. You can shoot selfies with the main cameras and get the benefit of the big cover screen viewfinder. Brightness is a solved problem too. I had no trouble seeing either screen, even on one of the first truly beautiful days of the spring season here in the city. You better believe I was back on my 2-pocket laptop BS as I commuted on the ferry with the Fold and that Clevatura keyboard I covered in the gadget grab bag. Motorola isn't confused about what platform it's building on either. The design is Google Material Expressive, instead of a misguided attempt to match Apple. Oh, and the Razr finally comes with a weather app of its own, which is nice and overdue. Sadly, it still forces you to the atrocious AccuWeather website for radar. I've found the app Gradient Weather to be a good alternative. It's in the Play Store. Now, I will say that Motorola's tolerance for bugs in its software seems a bit too high. Case in point, watch as I carefully crop a wallpaper image to fit just right under my icons, only for the phone to completely ignore that effort when I try to save the results. The multitasking view has a little hitch to it that screws up my flow all the time. For some reason, I haven't been getting Gmail notifications of any kind, which is honestly kind of a relief, but, not ideal. And if you carry the phone in your back pocket, get ready for a lot of attempted emergency calls. Little stuff, yeah, but given Motorola's awful track record for timely updates, you've got to be ready to live with these little bugs for a while. Fortunately for the Fold, the rest of the experience is as premium as you should expect. I had no trouble with reception on Verizon, and the speakerphone is rich, deep, and loud. I found the battery basically impossible to kill in a single day, even though the Fold's hotspot has supplied my entire internet connection for every visit to the office over the past 12 days. It's an absolute endurance powerhouse, and it charges quickly to boot, even though no charger comes in the box. And as for that perennial disappointment of the folding phone, and frankly the Motorola phone, the camera? Well, take a look. Now, even though the Pixel 10 Pro Fold and Galaxy Fold 7 are at best a medium bar, I will say it's not a total shutout. The Razr got the exposure wrong on some sunlit scenes, really cooking them off, and one main camera self-portrait was a total mess. Also, video is, as you might expect, inconsistent. But broadly, all 3 of the phone's 50-megapixel shooters acquitted themselves admirably when held up against the competition. In more than a few night shots, the Razr obliterated the Fold 7. pushing it to its absolute maximum zoom, maximum crop. Well, they're all bad, but beyond the minutial pixel peeping of comparison samples. I'll say that I took the phone as my primary shooter for a weekend in Mystic, Connecticut with my friends David and Andrew. Actually, we were recreating a trip we took back when I was reviewing the iPhone 12. I wasn't trying to be artsy or even that intentional. I was just kind of run and gun, shooting like I'd shoot with any phone. An occasional low-light motion blur aside, it captured our misadventures with aplomb. This is without question the best Motorola camera I've ever used. And while that might sound like damning with faint praise, I'd certainly choose this camera over the Fold 7. The Oppo Find N6 is another story, but that phone isn't sold stateside. It seems like this could be a season of redemption for Motorola cameras, and I'll be testing that theory further next week when I use the new Razr Ultra to shoot a little mini vlog of my time at Google I/O. Stay tuned for that, and hey, subscribe if you don't want to miss it. If I sound measured in my praise, it's because I can't shake the notion that this would have been a truly great contender if only it had come to the fight earlier. But look at where we are now. Oppo just dropped that outstanding Find N6. Samsung blazed a new, albeit brief, trail with its trifold experiment, and it's rumored to release expanded editions to its bifold portfolio this summer. And Apple is expected to finally wade into the flexible display waters itself this fall. Against that backdrop, making a splash that lasts would seem to demand, more than the Razr Fold can offer. And finally, I think Motorola owes a lot of the success it's found with the Razr Flip family to the boldness it's demonstrated with those designs. With each new release, the company advanced the conversation in some way. I guess I just expected the Razr Fold to do something similar, instead of arriving as an impressive but unsurprising evolution of an existing idea. Razr Fold is up for pre-order now, and it goes on sale May 21st. This video was produced following almost 2 weeks with the Razr Fold review sample provided by Motorola, with connectivity provided by Verizon. Motorola also provided travel and lodging for Mr. Mobile's attendance of the Razr launch event in Los Angeles. Oh, and check out my hands-on video from that venue if you're curious what it's been like to spend a year on the 2025 Razr Ultra. As always, the subjects of my reviews do not receive editorial input, copy approval rights, or even an early preview of my content. These opinions are mine, not Motorola's or Verizon's. Stay tuned for that Razr Ultra review and follow me on socials at Captain2Phones. Till next time, from Michael Fisher, thanks for watching. And stay mobile, my friends.